Well, hello and welcome to the post-match Pirates interview with me, John Martin, sponsored by ITEC. The Pirates have beaten Doncaster by 27 points to 10, and I'm joined by Pirates Director of Rugby, Chris Sterling. Chris, I spoke to you after the Coventry game last week. You must be far happier this week.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, it's amazing what a W can do. Yeah, I got a few more smiles.
You must have put in a lot of good work in the week.
Yeah. I mean, we pride ourselves on an area of the game that's important. It's physicality, and we were a little bit off the mark at Coventry, and I think today we're back to our good old selves as being really physical and taking the ball to them hard, and when they bring it to us, meeting them hard and knocking them over. So, yeah, I was really happy with the level of physicality.
How important is it that when you've lost a game to turn it around and win the following week? How important is that?
I mean, for the mindset, it's really important. But I mean, I look at things in more than one or two game blocks, and you know, if you look at how we're travelling overall, it was important for us to get back in that right direction. So if you look at our performance overall, I think that first 40 minutes today was probably, I think, the best we've played this year in really difficult conditions. You know, to score 3 tries into that gale. Was an outstanding effort. So you take that into take the win and losses out of it. It's our performance. Are we moving in the right trajectory upwards? And we are.
I think you started the game brilliantly because they kicked off, you kept possession, and for the first 4 minutes worked your way up the field, and I thought that was excellent. Good start to the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think Gav said something to me, it must have been close to 40 phases or something. Well, I don't think we've done that. And in the second half we struggled to do that again too, and you know, sometimes it's easier to play into the wind than it is with it.
Yeah. And also I think the start of the second half, you pinned them back into their own half. They didn't get into the Pirates' half until after 20 minutes of the second half. So I thought that was good defence in playing the territory.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely came out with a different mindset in the second half, and I thought they were a better team. They kept the ball for long periods of time, although they didn't really threaten us until very late in the game. So, you know, it was really pleasing. We strangled them a wee bit, and, you know, I think if we'd been a little bit more accurate in certain areas and made a couple of different decisions, we could have actually opened up the game quite drastically.
In terms of conditions, it was a game for the forwards today, and I thought your forwards were outstanding, yet the backs scored the 5 tries.
Well, then, you got a good mix, haven't you? I mean, the space was created through the directness up the middle, and then when we did create the space, we took advantage of it on the edges. And you know, what we have got, apart from a hard-working pack of forwards, is we've got some really exciting talent that out wide is dangerous, and give them space and we'll take advantage of it. I think an interesting thing for me is first half into that win, we kept the ball for long periods of time. We looked really dangerous. You know, it's a discussion that the coaches will have post this match. Should we keep the ball a little bit more?
Well, rather than kick it, perhaps?
Well, I mean, and this is what we're always challenging ourselves on as you look at these different scenarios and different situations. And you say, okay, how can we use this? Should we contemplate changing this aspect of our game, or should we not? It's the fun of coaching.
It is, certainly. Alex O'Meara scored a great try, and he showed that even though you've got pace, and on a pitch like this, you can still use your pace and get over.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic finisher, and you know, that was a great try, and our Cullum, the cart horse, I think he got a hat-trick, didn't he, or something? So, I mean, Alex, it's great to have such variety, and with Wedders, you know, off in the Naughty Boys corner at the moment till after next week, you know, to have those two firing, AJ as well, and Harry Davey came on. It's, you know, we've got some depth, and that's important.
And that's without mentioning Kyle Moyle.
Yeah, I mean, Moyler is, and it's probably a lot of the supporters and that won't see the other part of the game that he brings, and that's identifying the space, communicating it. And, you know, I would say that even though he didn't score the tries in the backs he had a massive part in contributing to get that ball to the right place at the right time.
Yeah, he did, certainly. Selection must be difficult for you. You've got 1 or 2 players out injured, but you've got such a good, big squad now. Selection must be a bit of a headache at times.
Well, it's a nice headache though. You know, especially when you've got, you know, you've got John Stevens, who's a really good 7 out at the moment. You've got Antonio putting his hand up saying, well, if you're going to come back, John, it's going to be hard to get your shirt back. And then likewise in the backs too. I mean, you know, Omo and AJ with Moyler playing well at the back, and Wedders is not just going to walk straight back in, and that's what we want. Nick DiBattista just around the corner, and that's really going to, because the one area that we've been a little bit lucky in the sense of if we got injuries we're in trouble was the midfield, and Cullum and Rory have been fit most of the time, so that's great. But with Nick coming back into contention in the next couple of weeks, it just strengthens that area too, so it's exciting.
We're at the start of the second half of the season now, the first game of the second half. At the halfway point, after 11 games, you'd won 8 of the 11. Was that on course for you, the first half of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, you have a plan and you like to progress and develop, and 4-2-1 was the 3 years. That's what, that's as a measurement, that's what I would be looking at. And, this year I think we're better than fourth. Can we stay in third and challenge for second and maybe even first? Let's see. I mean, I think next week will give us a really good indication of where we're at.
Yeah. Looking ahead to next week, that's Newcastle away. That's the game that everybody wants to play in against the team that have come down from the Premiership. That must excite you.
Well, it excites me, and it won't be. There will be no challenge whatsoever in getting the boys up for it. They love to be tested. The perception is Newcastle are the best team in the competition. Great. Let's go and play them and see how good they are.
They're not hammering teams, though, are they? They're just beating them. So do you think they're there for the taking? They could be taken?
Oh, no different to any other Premiership team that's come down to the Championship. It's a pretty relentless competition where, even apart from probably one team at the bottom that are really struggling this year, all the others, you look at Nottingham, I think they're sitting second or third from bottom, or Scottish. Yeah. They're still good teams. They can beat anyone. And I mean, we got tipped up by Scottish away, and in the first game of this season, Scottish just about knocked Newcastle over. So, are they there for the taking? Well, if we're good enough, yes, they are. But it's going to be a massive challenge.
And it's a 3G pitch. So how do the Pirates adapt to that?
I mean, I think our guys, if you ask them what they'd rather play on, apart from the fact that they love playing here in the location, it's pretty hard work playing on that ground out there, to be honest. It's it varies between being soft and a beach. So there's a lot of sand. And sometimes when you get a little bit of, we've had dry weather all this week, so it's loosened up quite a bit. But when you do get just the right amount of rain, so it's not sitting on top, but it binds the sand together, it's actually easy to play on.
Yeah. So Newcastle away next week, then Coventry at home in the Cup. So it's generally exciting for the Pirates and their supporters.
Yeah, and then it just rolls on as well too. And I think we've made some real progress this season in important aspects of our game, but we've got a long way to go. We've got depth of squad, we've got players challenging for position, and I think our consistency is at a level where we can say, yeah, it's okay, it's good, it's not where we want it to be. I think today was a real big step forward in that aspect. Especially that first 40 minutes.
Exactly. Well, Chris, thank you very much. Congratulations on the performance today. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, John. My pleasure.
It's Chris Sterling, Director of Rugby of the Cornish Pirates, reflecting on today's performance. The Pirates have beaten Doncaster Knights by 27 points to 10. Thanks for watching the John Martin ITEC interview.